4 additional people are now facing charges after Lloydminster RCMP wrapped up an ongoing drug investigation. On May 25th, officers conducted a search of a home near 50th Ave and 47th Street, where they seized a wide range of drugs, including methamphetamine, cocaine, heroin, prescription drugs, and over $10,000 of stolen property, including 3 firearms and tools. 4 people were found and arrested inside the home and are facing multiple charges, including possession with the purpose of trafficking. In total, 33 charges were laid against 10 individuals. Lloydminster RCMP arrested a St. Walburg man after officers found over 60 grams of cocaine and other drugs during a traffic stop. 46-year-old Brian Lundy was arrested on May 18th after officers located 61 grams of cocaine, 27 grams of methamphetamine, and a small amount of marijuana, and over $3,100. Lundy has been charged with 3 counts of possession for the purpose of trafficking, 2 counts of possession of a weapon, and possession of property obtained by crime. Lundy is scheduled to appear in Alberta Provincial Court on June 12th. City administration has compiled a summary of findings from the recent Your Voice event and a report from a public survey regarding cannabis legislation. 90 residents attended Your Voice, while the survey gathered 416 responses. The business license bylaw received a mixed response from the public, as most event participants wanted the $750 license fee for cannabis retailers increased, while nearly 50% of the survey respondents wanted it decreased.
There's a lot of people who want nothing to do with cannabis and don't think it should be in their community, and there's a lot of people who want heavy restrictions on it, but then, inversely, there is the groups that feel the exact opposite and think it needs to be treated like any other source of legitimate business.
I had people during the voice night say, I don't want to see cannabis in the city, to someone else right behind saying, why isn't the city growing marijuana or cannabis and taking the profits and putting it back into the city streets?
Council will continue to examine and discuss the results before several bylaws go through second and third reading.
I'll be sitting down and reviewing them again just to make sure that I've got a general consensus.
59% of surveyed respondents were satisfied with the mandated 100-meter distance for cannabis retail stores, while 41% wanted the distance increased. The Lloydminster Chamber of Commerce is celebrating being named Alberta Chamber of the Year for 2017. Chamber leaders credit the victory to a few accomplishments, including hosting a marijuana and the workplace conference, advocating for both sides of the border city with the carbon levy, and developing a strategy to reduce methane emissions.
We want to continue to work diligently on advocacy for our businesses and to make sure that we bring the issues, business issues, in front of our civic, provincial, and federal governments.
The Chamber represents interests of member businesses in both local and provincial matters. Students at Rundle Park Elementary School are stepping up to support a cause close to their hearts. They spent the afternoon on Thursday raising money for ALS in honor of their former teacher, Amanda Block, whose husband is currently battling it. Our Matthew Churchill has the details.
Kids wearing hats of all colors filled the gymnasium yesterday to support Amanda Block and her family. Block taught the students about the disease, explaining how it paralyzes people by stopping the brain from communicating with muscles properly, something the students wanted to help with.
We are having a hat and walk day, and to wear a hat you had to pay $1, and all the money that we raised goes to an ALS foundation.
Raising over $1,000 with Hat Day, the kids and staff hit the field to show their support for the fundraiser Amanda's family is participating in.
In 2 weeks, or June 10th, there's a Betty's Run for ALS. It's their annual fundraiser. And when we heard about that and that their family would be participating, we thought this was a perfect way to support them financially, but also emotionally, to know that they have us behind them.
The financial support will go towards research and helping those with ALS get equipment like electric scooters, walkers, and stair lifts. And the emotional support, something that's not only benefiting Amanda's family.
I think it's important for kids to learn at an early age that people are going through things that we may not know they're going through, and it's important to show support for people and show our love.
If you want to support Amanda's team, Team Blockbuster, you can donate at the ALS Alberta website. For Newcap News, I'm Matthew Churchill.
The Lloydminster Hospital staff went gardening as part of the Blooms for the Hospital event on Thursday. Put on by the Lloydminster Regional Health Foundation, Blooms for Healthcare started after groundskeeping was cut from the budget.
Started out of a bit of a protest and having been working in the healthcare field for a while in the governance side. I've seen where lots of times some of the first things that go when budgets were cut was the grounds and that type of stuff.
Blooms for Healthcare has been running for 4 years, and the hospital says they are thankful for the rejuvenation.
This courtyard that we're standing in right now, several years ago, it was unusable because there was weeds in here and it had not been looked after. And it was Don Whitaker who came to me one day and he said, you know, we need to fix this up for patients and staff. And I agreed with him and we came up with an idea.
Blooms for Healthcare have planted at 3 locations this year, including the Lloydminster Hospital, Jubilee Continuing Care, and the Lloydminster Continuing Care. There is a lot going on this weekend. Relay for Life gets underway tonight, and Wings of Warrior Golf Tournament is happening at Rolling Greens Golf Course. Matthew Churchill has the details in this edition of What's Happening.
Happy Friday, everybody. My name's Matthew Churchill. I'm filling in again for Heather this week, and this is what's happening. Coming up tonight at Bud Miller Park, we have the Relay for Life, honoring those who have lost their lives to cancer and celebrating those who have defeated cancer. The entertainment at the event will feature yoga, Zumba, a DJ, and live music, and it all starts at 7 p.m. Coming up on Sunday, we have the Wings of Warriors Golf Tournament happening at the Rolling Greens Golf Course. Now, the day will consist of obviously some golf, a silent auction, a buffet, and guest speaker Tom Watson. Now, if your team hasn't signed up yet, you don't have to worry. You can still sign up today, and all the proceeds are going to the Sick Kids Foundation of Canada. Now, it all starts at noon on Sunday. Now, the CD we're giving away this week is a little unique. It's the Sting and Shaggy collaborative album, featuring the songs Don't Make Me Wait and Morning Is Coming. It also comes with 4 bonus tracks. Now, if you want to get your hands on this CD, all you have to do is email us your daytime phone and name at tvcontest@newcap.ca. And I also want to thank John at Universal Music for hooking us up with these tunes. If you're looking for some family-friendly fun this weekend, make your way down to Bud Miller Park for Optimist Kids Day, where they'll have bouncy castles and glitter paint for the kids and some food for you parents. And it's all from 10 to 3 on Saturday. Now, whatever you guys get up to this weekend, I hope you have a safe and fantastic one.
This is Newcap Sports.
Yesterday, Barons girls rugby continued their perfect season with a convincing win over Cold Lake, earning a spot in Alberta's provincial tournament Thursday afternoon. The boys had a chance to do the same, but a stout Rebels squad stood in their way. Both Barons teams will be making a trek to Calgary for provincials, or just the girls. Lance Phillips tells us.
Both Barons rugby teams have earned a berth in Alberta's high school rugby championships. The Barons boys completed the sweep with a 34-5 win over Cold Lake on a cool, windy Thursday afternoon in Lloydminster. Each week, the Barons are improving, and Thursday's championship may have been their best game yet.
I honestly think that was close to perfect for us. Like, the gaps were filled. We spread out as a team. That one that Cold Lake got was a fluke thing that we let loose.
I thought the communication of the team improved a lot. However, listening to those commands that are coming now from Darian, who's really taken charge of the play calling, has got to improve.
We've worked on kind of putting a structure forward and being able to run our set pieces well, and I think that's something we really did well on today, that we really ran the game plan. We just, like I said, they got some talented boys. They make you make a choice, and sometimes you make the wrong one.
The Barons executed their game plan well, and it began with the work of their leadership team.
Laith, Darian, Lance, Kyle really stepped up the whole game. I thought a few guys stepped up even more in the second half, where we were tentative and just running tentatively versus just taking the ball forward.
We have a bunch of new guys coming in this year, so they need someone there to lead them and show them how the game is played.
Over the last 2 weeks, Lloydminster's skills and gameplay have improved dramatically. But in order to be competitive against the province's top teams, there's still an area of weakness that requires fine-tuning.
I mean, in terms of offense, we can get the ball, no problem. We can push it, we can drive it, no problem. It's just our defense has to be a little bit better. We have to stay in the line, and we all have to push up.
We've always played hard, we've always played aggressive, but now it's playing smart, better game sense, more anticipation, and improving our overall feel for the game.
Every year the program builds on previous success, but the 2018 version has a certain quality that isn't quite tangible, but is easily identifiable.
I can't even describe it. It's phenomenal, especially when we're working as a unit instead of individual work. I love it. This is probably my best year playing rugby.
Hard to describe it. I tell them I love them. That's why I do this. Yeah, I want them to feel like they're a band of brothers, and that this is a real important part of their life, not just in sport, but in terms of maturity.
Lance Phillips, Newcap Sports, Lloydminster.
This is Newcap weather.
It continues to pour outside, but that is going to start easing off as we head into a sunny morning on Saturday. Fairly sunny, at least. It's a mix of sun and cloud throughout the day, more sun than cloud, and that's certainly a welcome sight after a week that has been rather damp in the border city. Let's just look quickly at the next 24 hours. You can see here a low pressure system making its way across Canada and plenty of cloud cover across both Alberta and Saskatchewan. Plenty more cloud cover on its way eventually, and by Monday this pattern here will start to make its way across your screen as well, bringing with it a couple more centimeters of precipitation. But for the weekend, expect largely warmer temperatures, at least closer to the average you expect for this time of the year. 12 degrees in Edmonton, 12 as well in Edson, 12 in Whitecourt and Athabasca, and then 18 over in Jasper on the far west side of the province. Cold Lake sitting at 11 degrees. Further out east we go, a little bit cooler as well, +8 in both Prince Albert and in Melfort. Saskatoon still holding strong at 11 degrees themselves. Yellowknife up at 17, a little bit warmer than earlier in the week, and definitely cloudy skies there. Again, Edmonton, as we said before, at 12 degrees, 17 in Regina and 15 in Winnipeg. A little warmer on the eastern part of our country, 23 in Quebec City. Toronto, as they often do, excellent weather at 24 degrees, 26 out in Halifax. A little cooler on the coast in St. John at 5 degrees. Now the Battleford sitting at 9, and there's still some light rain in that area. It will continue on for a couple of hours, eventually start to go into more drizzle when we hit the nighttime skies. +5 is their expected low. 18 tomorrow afternoon, but a very cloudy day. Clouds getting quite low, in fact, so maybe some outside of fog. And as a result, that will still be a warm afternoon, but not nearly as warm as some other regions, not helped as well by near 30-kilometer winds coming out of the northwest. In the Lakeland region, again, it's been bumped up to 11 degrees there with some light rain showers. Also expecting a low of 5, and won't get quite as warm as the Battlefords at 17 degrees, but the winds coming out of the west-northwest are not nearly as strong, a max of about 20 kilometers, and those clouds will also give way to some sun a little later in the afternoon. 8 degrees here in the Midwest with 6 expected overnight, and 18 tomorrow. Again, a partly sunny day, so a mix of sun and cloud from start to finish. Some strong winds expected as they could get into the 25 to 30 kilometer range, but not quite as strong as the Battlefords, and certainly not as consistently strong over the course of the day. For now, we'll have to deal with some northwest winds when we head into the overnights. And your 7-day forecast. Fairly warm weekend, 18 degrees, bumped up to 21 on Sunday, but that precipitation we talked about earlier makes its way back by Monday morning. 21 degrees still expected to be the high. After the precipitation leaves, we get to 16 on Tuesday, 19 Wednesday, 25 on Thursday, and 24 Friday. So those last couple of days expected to be a very warm one. in the border city.